Hey everybody, Rosematter here. Welcome to part 10 of my Steins Gate Let's Play. So, yeah, we had some pretty big things happen in the last episode. The big thing is Luca is a girl, y'all. it actually happened. That is insane. It's one thing to change, like, the infrastructure of a city, but to change someone's sex, like, what? I don't know how that happened, but also, we learned that Suzuha apparently believes that her father that she's looking for is John Titor, which is also what, like, I had a feeling about this girl. I had a feeling she had some ulterior motives about why she started working where she did. I feel like she's been sent from the future into the past to try and find her father, if it's true. Maybe she's just delusional, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm excited to get back into it and to see what happens next. So without further ado, let's get back into it. Oh yeah, holy crap, I forgot about saying that as well. So Kurisu has kind of figured out the logistics of the Phonewave, and she says that we can send our memories back in time. So not just, D-mails, but our actual memories into the past. That's huge too. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. So we are looking for, I assume, some stuff to be able to do that. So, alright, the next day, Mayuri and I go shopping at Radicon. We have a list written by Kurisu of parts for the Time Leap machine. Naturally, I'm paying for everything out of my own pocket. Kurisu and Daru have already started work on the upgrade. Yeah, you can't afford to give Mayuri some dang bananas. Apparently, the conversion of memories into digital data requires software developed at Kurisu's lab in America. She can download that software from their dedicated server. But that's not the only thing we need. There's also some kind of brain scanning headgear that we're going to have to make ourselves. Incidentally, I have to pay extra close attention to make sure Mayuri doesn't wander off while we're shopping. If she sees some random store that interests her, she'll literally stop and stare at it for hours. I keep walking, of course, and only later realize that she's not behind me. Then I have to run from store to store looking for her. This must be how parents of small children feel. Well, at least it's not like a Moe Mecha anywhere, or else it would be even harder to keep track of her because she'd probably want to stop at like every store. Anyway, this is nothing new. Mayuri's always been like this.
頼むから俺についてこい。この迷宮ではぐれたら、おそらくお前は自力では外に出られないぞ。
わかった。気をつけるね。でね、オカリ、タイムリープとタイムトラベルってどう違うの？
Did she really hear what I just said about not wandering off? Besides, Kurisu already explained the difference yesterday.
タイムトラベルは体ごと時間を飛び越えること。タイムリープは記憶だけが時間を飛び越えることと覚えればいい。
Just memories, no personality or consciousness included, although Kurisu did mention that there was no way to be sure what might happen to your consciousness.
そっか。じゃあ D メールとタイムリープだとできることってどう違うのかな？
D メールは過去へ指示できるだけだった。過去は変わるかもしれないし、変わらないかもしれない。それは受け取った人間次第であり、成功率は未知数だった。それに、過去が変わった場合、変える前の記憶は失われる。世界線が再構成されるからだ。
I am the exception, thanks to reading Steiner.
それに対してタイムリープだと、例えば1週間前のお前の頭の中に今のお前の記憶が丸々流れ込んでくることになるはずだ。
We won't know for sure if it works until the machine is built.
例えば作りかけのコスを持って1週間前へ行ける？ゴミマまでの時間を1週間分稼げてマユシ大勝利みたいなこと？
タイムトラベルならば可能だろうが、タイムリープでは無理だ。2日前に受けたテストの答えを知っている状態でテストの前へ戻ることはできる。だが回答済みの答案用紙を持って2日前へは戻れない。
じゃあマユシーの意識は1週間前のマユシーの中に入っちゃうってこと？
そういうことだ。
While this conversation has been going on, I've been steadily purchasing items from Karisu's shopping list.
物は持っていけないけど記憶は持っていけるんだね。そっか。でもそしたら1週間前のマユシーの中にあったマユシーの記憶はどこに行っちゃうのかな。
This must be the thing about all of the previous physical, like, I don't know about physical embodiments, but like Okabe's been having these dreams about like other selves of him and other selves of Mayuri. So you wonder if you mess around with someone's memories, does that still affect the timeline to a point where like there is another Okabe and another Maishi in another timeline? And there's like, if he keeps going back in time, there's going to be like hundreds of different timelines of himself or of Maishi or Mayuri, for example. This is what I'm a little confused about, is the timeline aspect. Like, do you stay on the same timeline, or does it change the timeline and diverge it? And then there's just a whole bunch of like alternative worlds and alternative timelines.
上書きされるのではないか？
We haven't tested it yet, though, so there's no way to be sure.
消えちゃうってこと？
消えたとしても、1週間前のお前の記憶と今のお前の記憶は連続している。記憶が上書きされたとしても、1週間前までのお前の記憶には何も変化はない。未来の1週間分の記憶が追加されるという言い方をした方が良さそうだ。
じゃあね、1週間前のマユシーに記憶を飛ばしたら、今のマユシーの体はどうなっちゃうんだろう。
So this is what it must be leading up to. That plus that dream where she's like, there's hundreds of Okarins and there's hundreds of Mayushis. Mayuri's asking some pretty philosophical questions today. But I guess anyone would ask the same.
マユシーが1週間前に記憶をビューンって飛ばしても、オカリンはここにいるんだよね。オカリンから見ると、意識が飛んでったマユシーはどうなっちゃってるのかな。
抜け殻になっている。いや待て、そうじゃない。そういうことじゃないはずだ。助手がやろうとしているのは記憶をデータ化して保存する、つまりバックアップでしかない。記憶をすべて脳から抜き去ってそれをデータ化するわけではないのだ。
Nothing inside the brain is lost. You don't become an empty shell. Well, you hope so. Besides, neither personality nor consciousness is transferred to begin with.
だから抜け殻になったり意識が飛んだりすることはないはず。
Yeah, these are, it shouldn't do this, it shouldn't do this. I feel like once they use this time leap machine, everything's gonna go to shit, potentially. No, wait, there's another issue here.
というか1週間前に戻ってまたその1週間を経験してきたマユリがここにいることになるのではないか？
Not that anybody, including me, would be able to tell the difference.
じゃあタイムリープする前の最初の1週間を過ごしたマユシーはタイムリープしてその1週間を繰り返したマユシーに消されちゃうの？
This is getting complicated, yeah.
そうだ、消える。もう一度やり直すと言うべきだな。そっくりそのままトレースすることもできるし、全く別の行動をとることもできる。それと消えた最初の1週間の記憶自体はマユリが持ち続けていることになる。
じゃあね。
The questions keep coming. She's trying hard to understand in her own ditzy way.
もしも1週間前に戻ったマユシーが1週間後の今日ラボには来なくて学校のお友達と池袋で遊ぶことにしたらどうなるのかな。今はマユシーはこうしてオカリンとお話ししてるけど、
過去が変わり今も変わることになるだろう。こうしてここで俺とお前が話している事実は消滅するはずだ。
ふーん、それをオカリンは 気づかないんだよね。
ああ、そうだ。
だとしたらね、なんだか寂しいね。
俺が？
マユシーが。
I don't get what she means.
だからクリスチャンは過去を変えたくないって言ってたのかも。
She nods to herself with a bright smile.
ねえねえねえ、タイムリープは未来には飛べないのかな。
飛べるかもしれないが、飛んだところで意味はない。
Kurisu and I reached that conclusion yesterday. The memories you send overwrite the memories at your destination. If you send your memories 1 week into the future, then the future you would lose 1 week of memories.
俺たちがやろうとしているタイムリープは過去に送ってこそ進化を発揮するのだ。それに過去より未来の方が届かない可能性は高い。過去については思い出すことができるが、未来については予測がつかないからな。例えばマユリは未来永劫にわたって同じ電話番号の携帯を持ち続けていると思うか？
わかんないよ。
つまりそういうことだ。それにかつてポケベルが携帯の出現で廃れてしまったように、携帯に代わる新たなパーソナル端末が爆発的に流行してしまうかもしれない。
In order for the time leap to succeed, the target, you, must have a phone whose number you know. As long as that condition is met, there should never be a problem with setting the destination. The real problem is what inside the Phonewave, named subject to change, is acting as the lifter. Until we figure that out, we can't reproduce the discharge phenomenon at will. The Phonewave, named subject to change, will remain incomplete. On the other hand, if we can figure it out, we'll have an endless source of electrons that, unlike CERN's, needs no tuning. I'm exhilarated. The Phonewave, named subject to change, is evolving by the day. Our invention of the time leap machine will put us light years ahead of CERN. Time travel will finally become a reality. I can't wait to try it out. My soul yearns for the taste of chaos. I barely managed to keep from bursting out in mad laughter. Come to think of it, more than 1 week has passed since we sent the first email, and although there was that strange threatening email, there remains no sign of Men in Black coming to haul us away. According to Daru, CERN hasn't discovered our hacking either. The next problem is what will happen when we use the time leap machine. I feel like Suzuha is from the future and she's come to investigate and see what we're up to. In order to compress a human's entire wealth of memory into the requisite 36 bytes, we have to borrow the LHC's black hole. I can't believe that CERN won't notice an unauthorized activation of the LHC. How do we keep them from finding us? We need a plan.
そっか。じゃあマユシーが小学生の頃へも飛べないんだね。その頃は携帯持ってないもん。
Mayuri's still talking about the time leap.
お前は小学生の頃へ戻りたいのか？気持ちはわかる。今の知識を持って小学生からやり直せば、学校の成績はおそらく学年トップになれるだろうし、人間関係もうまくこなせるだろう。
それにね、おばあちゃんにも会えるかもって思ったんだ。
I've thought about that. I was like, part of me would like to go back to being a kid, when things were a lot easier, but if I went back with all my memories, the memories of, someone who's older, I would find it incredibly dull because mentally I would be so much more advanced, so I wouldn't be able to really be a kid. So it would kind of defeat the purpose. But it would be nice to see people, who were alive back then too, like Mayuri says.
そうか。残念だったな。
Mayuri's grandmother passed away when Mayuri was in elementary school.
残念は残念だけどね。どうしても会いたかったわけじゃないよ。おばあちゃんの言葉とかね、笑顔とか、マユシーの頭を撫でてくれたシワシワの手とかね。マユシーは今でもちゃんと覚えてるもん。だからね、わざわざ会わなくても平気なの。それよりもね、 その頃のオカリンにもう一度会ってみたいなって思って。
あの当時からこの俺はマッドサイエンティストとして完成されており、周囲のガキンチョどもとは一線を画した人間だった。そんなイフのオーラを放つ天才小学生にして未来のマッドサイエンティスト、おーい、今日まに会いたいというお前の気持ちよくわかるぞ。
She's like, no, I just thought you were cute back then. You're a cute little kid.
会いたいのはほーいなんとかじゃなくてオカリンだよ。
I am Hoi and Kyoma. Always have been, always will be. Mairi just doesn't get it. So I disregard her comments.
だがやめておけ。精神年齢において当時から全く成長していないお前では、仮に今小学生に戻ったところで何も変わらんからな。
Damn, low glow.
そんなことないよ。マユシーもちゃんと成長してるもん。
食べる量が増えたぐらいだろ。
And your breast size.
そんなことないのです。マユシーはちゃんと大人の階段を登ろうとしているのです。
A real woman? I kind of want to hear the details, but she probably doesn't know what she's talking about.
それよりもね、オカリンの方が当時から止まったままだと思うな。
だから何度も言っているだろうが、この俺は当時の時点ですでに完成されていたのだとな。
The shopkeeper shoots me a glare. I guess this isn't the best place for maniacal laughter. Better get those parts and head back to the lab. I can't believe it. Are we actually going to be time leaping today? We finish our shopping and come out in front of the station.
そういえば参るよ。お前、最近バイトをしていないんじゃないか？
バイト？ルモアンヌのこと？
Of course, May Queen doesn't exist in the current wholesome Akiba.
あのね、コミマ前だからお休みもらってるんだよ。頑張ってコスを作らなくちゃ。
I need to go to this convention so bad.
今年は一体何着作っている
？3着。ね、楓ちゃんと吹雪ちゃんの分でもってルカちゃんの分。
I wonder if Lukako is still refusing to wear it. I can hardly blame him. I mean, however cute he looks, he's still a guy. No, wait, that was before we sent the D-mail. Now Lukako's a girl. I guess. How confusing.
あ、萌香さんだ。
Oh my gosh, we haven't seen her in a while.
何？
I look where Mayuri's pointing and see Moeka squatting by the staircase staring hard at her cell phone. She looks more tired than the last time I saw her. There are bags under her eyes and her hair is frayed. I mean, maybe Moeka was sent from the future too. She's like all after the IBN 5100 as well. Maybe he's got multiple like agents sent from the future to maybe stop him or maybe help him? The intensity of her expression makes me hesitate to call out to her. She'll probably just ignore me like before. On the other hand, she is a lab mem. I can't just ignore her.
そこの指圧師よ。随分と浮かない顔をしているではないか。
トゥットゥルー、萌香さん、ここで何してるの？
Moeka doesn't look up. She mutters something I can't make out.
おーい、聞いているか？悩みがあるなら、この狂気のマッドサイエンティスト、オーイン京馬が華麗に解決してやろう。もっとも、その場合は、秋葉が血の海となることも覚悟してもらうかな。
Moeka suddenly jerks upright as if poked with an electric prod. She lifts her head and stares at me with wide eyes, then jumps to her feet and walks right up to me. This is the first time I've seen Moeka express such emotion.
なんだ？どうした？
She doesn't speak. That hasn't changed. Once again, this girl, whoever voices her, has the easiest job in the world. Instead, she looks down and starts typing on her phone. Guess I should be ready for a mail. The time machine. What happened to the time machine?
どうなったとはどういう意味だ？
Are you still using it? Did you figure out how it works?
まだ完全には解明できていない。今は改良中だ。
すごいんだよ。あのね、今度はね、タイムリープができるようになるかもしれないんだって。
記事にはするなよ。
Ah, shit.
それをしたら、俺はお前をラボ面から破門しなければならない。
Let me see that again. Sorry, guys. What's that? What's time leap? Tell me more. Moeka shakes her head violently. Guess she won't write an article.
セルンへのハッキングによって電話レンジ（仮の新たな可能性について発見したのだ。セルンの一部設備を曲がりさせてもらうことによる新たなるタイムトラベルシステムの構築だよ。これは人類の歴史を塗り替え、新たなる段階へ足を踏み入れたことを意味する。すなわち時間の壁の征服。かくして人を未来へ流されるのではなく、未来を選んでいくことができるようになるだろう。その人類史上初の偉業を今我ら未来ガジェット研究所が成し遂げようとしているのだ。
オカリン、オカリン、その説明はね、すごく回りくどくてマユシーにはさっぱりなのです。
How can you not be moved by my speech? I'm talking about becoming legends here. Moeka bites her lip and types out a mail in irritation. Then she grabs my arm and digs in her fingernails. It hurts.
手を離してもらおうか。
But Moeka does not listen.
タイ
Oh,
ムリ
god
ー
damn it.
すなわち記憶のみの時間跳躍だ。
It does it automatically, and then when I hit the button, it closes it. I think she just wrote, "What is a time leap?" That's literally what it is. What is a time leap?
俺たちはそれを可能にする方法を見つけ出した。近いうちにタイムリープは実行され、我らは時間の征服者となる。
あのね、オカリンが思いついてクリスちゃんができるって言って、ダル君はお手伝い中でマユシーはオカリンと買い出しなんだよ。
Moeka suddenly releases me. Her eyes are blank, unfocused. She squats down on the spot just as we found her. She seems entirely drained of energy and will.
萌香さん、大丈夫？調子悪いの
Alright, wow, that's amazing. You've made a real breakthrough. Congratulations. When will it be finished?
こればかりも何とも言えないな。いくつか問題を残している。それがうまく解決できれば1週間以内にでも完成するだろう。
Maybe Moeka is from CERN. Maybe. The way that she's saying like, wow, that's amazing, congratulations, and then versus like her reactions being a little bit irritated and, you know, nervous?
だが解決できなければいつまでたっても完成はしない。すべてはシュタインズゲートによる選択。必ずや解決の道は開けていると俺は確信している。そして扉が開いた時、訪れるのは俺が望む混沌。世界を影から支配する機関へのラグナロックの幕は切って落とされるのだ。
オカリンは誰と戦ってるの？
決して表舞台には現れない支配者層に決まっているだろう。
へえ、すごいね。 危ないことはしちゃダメだからね。
Why does Mayuri insist on worrying about me? Oh? Moeka's lips curve into a smile. She is strange. She rises to her feet unsteadily, then staggers off into the crowd. It's like she's forgotten about us completely. What is her deal? Mayuri and I can only watch her go. There's an indescribable aura about her that holds us back.
萌香さん、どうしたのかな。
I've known she was kind of strange ever since I met her, but this... Maybe she's an escaped mental patient or something. Not that her insanity could possibly compare to mine. For I desire nothing less than total and absolute chaos. オカリンまでおかしくなっちゃった。マユシンは心配です。 Maishi looks scared, so I cease my maniacal laughter a few minutes earlier than planned. Afterwards, Mayuri and I go our separate ways. She apparently has to deliver a costume to her friend Fubuki. When I return to the lab with my spoils of war, something surprising, though not too surprising come to think of it, catches my eye. Kurisu is on the computer. As soon as she notices I've returned, she quickly closes the window on the screen. Why is everybody acting so weird and suspicious?
入ってくるときはノックぐらいしてよ。
ここはお前のプライベートな部屋ではない。それに敵が待ち伏せしているかもしれないのに、ノックして存在を知らせるバカがどこにいる？
Maybe she's on at channel.
敵が待ち伏せしてるかもって考えるバカこそどこにいる？
それでクリスティーナ、お前はやるべきことをサボって何を見ていた？
I already know the answer, of course. I caught a glimpse of the screen before she closed it.
調べ物よ。
She was totally on ad channel. Looks like she plans to continue the charade. I drop my bags and go to the computer. I slip past Kurisu's blocking arms and restore the minimized window.
なんか文句ある？おい、そのこれはひどい、はいはいワロスワルスみたいな笑い方はなんだ？
案ずるなクリスティーナ。いや、アットチャンネラークリス。
その呼び方はやめて。
俺はすでに気づいていた。そう、とっくに気づいていたのだよ。お前が生粋のアットチャンネラーだということにな。隠そうとしても俺にはわかる。お前からはアットチャンネラーとしての匂いのようなものがプンプンと醸し出されていた。
失礼だな。ちゃんと毎日香りがきつくない香水つけてるぞ。
バカめ、そういう意味ではない。俺が言っているのは魂レベルの話だ。
魂って具体的にはどんなところだ？定義を聞かせて。
今後バレないための参考にするのだな。
うるさい。いいから聞かせろ。
具体的もクソもない。お前はたまにアットチャンネル用語をつぶやく時がある。
うつだ。
Feels bad, man. Oh man, this is a blast from the past.
今のもアットチャンネル語だな。まさに魂レベルで染みついているということだろう。そしてこのラボにはもう一人アットチャンネル語をリアルで話すアホがいて、そいつのせいでお前の魂は冷気させられた。
Alright, Mayuri. Fubuki-chan and Kaede-chan praised me for the cosplay I made this time. I'm really happy. Who? You've never mentioned them before. You really like making costumes, huh? What made you so passionate about cosplay anyway? Alright, let's go with that one.
そうそう、橋田がいるせいで私まで引きずられちゃうのよ。
だが隠そうとするとはいじらしいな。アットチャンネルクリス。
そのなって呼ぶな
She glares at me hard. If looks could kill. She has no sense of humor at all. I should be more careful in the future.
しかし解せないな。アメリカ育ちなのになぜアットチャンネルに詳しいのだ？
アメリカからでもアットちゃんは見られる。あとはわかるな。
そういうことか。英語ばかりの環境にいると日本語が恋しくなってしまうのだな。しかしよりによってアットちゃんを選ばずともよかったものを。
I mean, if you believe the pseudo intellectuals in the media, browsing ad channels like reading scribbles on the bathroom wall.
ギスギスはしてるけど、一番日本の空気みたいなものが感じられる場所だっただけよ。それより頼みがあるんだけど。
頼み？
Kurisu turns away and mumbles something, but her voice is so low I can't make it out.
言いたいことははっきり言え。
Kurisu turns bright red, but her sullen expression doesn't change.
このことはみんなには内緒にしといて。
そんなにも知られたくないのか。ダルはお前の同類だし、マユリもオタだからアットチャンネルへの理解は深いぞ。俺もよく見に行くしな。恥ずべきことは何もない。履歴書やプロフィールの趣味の欄には堂々とアットチャンネルを見ることと書くがいい。
書けるかバカ。
何？ということは VIP でアンカーを出すことの方がいいのか？
Alright, what is this? Anchor to link a specific post on a message board, usually as a reply on @channel. This is done by typing that post number. Sometimes people engage in anchor play, a game where a poster leaves a decision to whomever posts with the indicated post number, usually chosen 20 to 30 posts beforehand. For example, 1000 gets to name my firstborn. And right, @channel's new Flash VIP board, although ostensibly for the discussion of news stories, it is currently dominated by idle chat threads.
言葉の意味を理解できる自分が憎い。
まあいい。タイムリープマシンの開発に集中してもらうためにもこの件は黙っておく。おそらくすぐにボロが出て俺以外のラボメンにもバレるのも時間の問題だろうがな。
心配には及ばない。大学じゃ周囲はみんな年上だった。研究室じゃ一番の若造なのに論文は私が書かせてもらえた。処世術には長けてるのよ。甘く見ないで。
ヌルポ。
I'm guessing that's an @channel meme. An old @channel term first seen on the programming board in 2003, nulpo is short for null pointer exception, which is an error seen in the Java programming language. When someone announces nulpo, the correct answer is to smack them on the head and say "ga."
がしまった。
Kurisu's face gets even redder, and then she falls to her hands and knees in defeat. Oars. Ideograph depicting a person on all fours. O is the head, R is the arms and torso, and Z is the feet. Typically used to express despair, dejection, or frustration. There is no set way to pronounce it. People may pronounce it orts, ors, or orse. Just as I thought, @channel is in her blood and bones. She doesn't have a prayer. As night fell, we tried to activate the Phonewave name subject to change again, but as expected, the discharge did not occur. Okay, I've got a mail. Myri. Oh, shit. God damn it. Why am I having such trouble today with this? Okay. The reason. You forgot? It all started when you asked for a costume of Kyojiro, the flame user from King of Histories, remember? I thought it looked great on you, but you only wore it once. Such a waste. Myri's at her sewing machine, putting some finishing touches on a costume. She got back earlier this evening after delivering a different costume to her friend Fubuki-chan. She's been working on this costume ever since. Come to think of it, she usually heads home around 7 or 8, but today she's still hard at work.
マユリ、あまり遅くならないうちに帰れ。親が心配するぞ。
大丈夫だよ。あのね、マユシーは今日は ここにお泊まりするのです。
え、本気か？
She's never done that before.
お父さんとお母さんにもね、そう言ってあるよ。
泊まって作業をしていくのか？
そうでもしないとゴミ間に間に合わないんだ。
よく親が許可したな。
I've met her parents any number of times. They're as ditzy as Myri. But still, I don't think they'd appreciate their underage daughter staying overnight in this dirty lab.
やはりこの俺、法院教魔の人望だな。あ、いや待て。人望などという言葉にはヘドが出る。つまり、そうではなく。そうか！マユリの親は、この俺のイフで、やむを得ず娘を人質に。
通報しました。
Kurisu calls out from the development room. She's been tinkering with the Phonewave, name subject to change, but I guess she was listening.
って言われたらどうする？
裏切るというのなら、俺の右腕が火を吹くことになるぞ、クリスティーナ。
はいはい、12秒、12秒。
クリスちゃんも一緒だからって説明したら、お父さんもお母さんもそれなら安心って言ってくれたんだよ。
それってつまり、私も泊まれっていうこと？
だってね、電話レンジちゃんの改良で大変なんでしょ？
Oh, how convenient having like two girls stay at the lab overnight with him.
まあそうだけど、このラボに泊まると気がめいるのよね。主に誰かさんのせいで。
環境というのは大事な要素だ、クリスティーナ。ここは研究に打ち込む以外にすることがないから意外と集中できる。ソースはこの法院教魔だ。それに聞いて驚くな。このラボには脳内物質を活性化させるシステムが組み込まれている。つまりこの俺の天才的かつ大胆かつ繊細な発明に対する着想は毎日ここに寝泊まりしているからこそ生まれるのだ。
脳内物質を活性化させるシステムって、あんた一体何を垂れ流してるんだ？
工場排水のごとき言い方をするな、ザ・ゾンビよ。
Haven't heard zombie in a while.
マユシー知ってるよ。きっとあれじゃないかな。ほら。
Kurisu comes out of the development room to check what Mayuri's pointing at.
これって、芳香剤？
頭の良くなる芳香剤なんだって。秋葉王で買ってきたってオカリンが言ってた。あれっていつの頃だったっけ？
半年ほど前だな。値段は500円とお得だった。
岡部の話って本当に信じるに値しないわね。
Ferris, is Maishi okay? Tell her to have fun at Kamima for me. I don't think I can go this year, Nya. I just don't have the energy, Nya. I'm completely burned out. I can hear a voice saying, "Get up, Joe. Nya, someone save me. The world is collapsing, Nya." Oh, there's a lot of things I could reply. That's not like you. Pull yourself together. I need your help finding the IBN 5100. What happened? Is the organization attacking? You're messing with me again, aren't you? Stop making me worry. Let's do the energy one.
しかもこれ、中の薬剤はもう空っぽになってるし。
Yeah, when I went to buy replacement packs, they had already stopped selling them.
まあいいわ。どっちにしろ私も泊まるつもりだったし。まゆりさん、付き合うわよ。
ほんと？よかった。
ただし、岡部は出ていくこと。
出ていけだと？俺はここに住んでいるようなものなのだぞ。このラボこそシュタインズゲートの選択により示された魂の居場所なのだ。
女子2人が泊まるって言ってるんだから、無才男子は自重してくれないと。それに あんたって実家は遠くないんでしょ？
オカリンはね、マユシーと同じで池袋だよ。
電車で30分もかからないじゃない。どうせ今日は徹夜で手伝ってもらうほどのことはないんだから、おとなしく帰ったら？
だが断る。
まさか私たちを襲うつもりか？
黙れ。伝部に蒙古藩が残る少女めが。
Oh my god, the amount of nicknames she has.
残ってない。あのな、前にもそれ言われたが、あんたいつ私のお尻を確かめた？
年下の女子2人だけをここに残していけるほど俺は能天気ではない。未成年には保護者が必要なのだ。
オカリンも未成年なのにね。
あと1年半もしないうちに成人だ。それはつまりシュタインズゲートの選択的に言えば成人だということであり。
いや、それはつまり未成年だろ？
クリスちゃん、クリスちゃん。オカリンはね、マユシーたちのことを襲うような悪い人じゃないと思うよ。
After he molested Luca, what, like the other day?
だってね、マユシーはもう10年以上の付き合いだけど、一度も襲われたことないもん。
A bare minimum to ask of a friend.
でも人質にされたことはあるんでしょ？
っていうかね、今も人質だよ。
強制退出させるべきね。
I sigh deeply and place a hand on my forehead.
あまり俺を失望させるな、クリスティーナ。科学研究の世界に男も女もない。そうだろう。このラボは神聖なる研究の場なのだ。そのような下世話な話題をしたいのならば、お前こそ今すぐ出ていくがいい。蒙古藩。
Looks like that was enough to convince Kurisu. She gives me a fine gesture as she returns to the development room.
あ、そうか。やはりクリスティーナの伝部には蒙古藩が。
ねえよ。
After working on the Phonewave, named subject to change for about an hour, I head to the convenience store to buy dinner. Daru hasn't shown his face at all today. He must be busy with that part-time job. I still don't know what he's doing exactly. Probably something that utilizes his super hacker skills. I just hope he steers clear of the law. While walking, I skim @channel on my phone. Titor hasn't shown up lately. I think it's been a week since his last appearance. I've been reluctant to contact him ever since he called me the Messiah in his last email. That was about the same time he stopped posting. Now @channel's Denzians are busy slandering Titor. The majority opinion is that he ran away. I wonder where Titor went. I tried emailing him the other day, but he hasn't replied. His disappearance is especially worrying now that I think he might be Suzuha's dad. I need to contact him somehow. Just then, a mail appears. Or arrives, I should say. Oh. You know too much. Ooh, are you gonna send me another creepy picture of Jelly? Oh boy. Oh. I don't like that. At least the other one was just a picture of Jelly. That's creepy. It feels as though a cold hand stroked my spine. I hug myself, shuddering at the sight. I delete the email immediately. It's happening again. This is bad. Really bad. This is a threat. Was it sent by the organization? By SERN? Does SERN know what we've been doing? Should I report it to the police? Wait, I can't. I just deleted it. And in any case, a picture alone probably isn't enough to get the police involved. Still, maybe I should talk to someone. But who? Not the girls. I can't worry them with this. I'm the adult here, after all. What about Moeka? No, she may be a labman, but she's been acting weird lately. Even if I tell her about this, she won't be any use. Suzuha has her father to worry about. I guess that leaves Daru. I need to find out whether CERN has discovered our hacking. What would CERN do if they found out, I wonder? Maybe Daru's behind it. Maybe Daru's a secret agent as well. I don't know. They wouldn't have us killed, would they? Despite my efforts to convince myself that this is just a prank, my feet hurry me back to the lab. This is the part of the game where I start to suspect everyone. Except Mayuri, because she's pure. I burst into the lab, gasping for air, and quickly locked the door behind me. Finally, I can catch my breath. But just then I realize that something's wrong. Oh, Mayuri and Kurisu aren't here. Did they go home? Uh-oh, are they kidnapped? No, their bags are still here. The lights are still on. The door. When I entered just now, it was unlocked. Would they be so careless? The memory of that threatening email fills me with fear. Maybe they just decided to pop down and go get some food or something. Don't tell me. Were they kidnapped? Who took them? The organization? SERN? And then I hear a noise. Oh, is that the shower? Oh, fan service, potentially. The lab has a shower inside the dressing room. There's no bath. We can't afford such luxuries, and it's too small to fit more than one person inside. Now I hear the sound of water running. Ooh, I recall the famous scene from Hitchcock's Psycho, but every time he thinks like this, it turns out to be something completely innocuous. So I bet it's Kurisu taking a shower, and he's gonna see her, and he'd be like, well, I guess you were right about not having the spot. No. Fresh blood mixing into the water and flowing down the drain. The corpses of two girls sprawled out naked on the tile. The second those images flashed in my head, I slam open the door to the shower room. Here we go. Yep. Yep. Now, through the steam, I see the wet, naked bodies of the two girls. Oh boy. Mayuri squats down while Kurisu bashfully twists her body, trying desperately to hide her unmentionables. Are their faces red because of the heat, or...
びっくりした。殺されたわけではなかったのだな。
You know, that's not gonna help Mayuri sing about, like, oh, he's not a pervert, don't worry about him. I wipe the cold sweat off my brow and sigh deeply.
ヒヤヒヤさせないでくれ。というか、よくその狭いシャワールームを二人で一緒に使う気になったな。
Well, I mean, the game waited at least, how many hours before they decided to put some fan service in, so, I mean, props to them for showing some restraint, I guess. Kurisu shoots me a deadly glare.
いいから出てけ変態か。
I dodge a bar of soap aimed at my face and quickly flee the dressing room. Well, I suppose that was all my fault.
そういうことされるとね、眉毛は悲しいし恥ずかしいです。あんた覚えときなさいよ。許さない。
Damn it, it was just a small misunderstanding. Well, I was gonna say, maybe when you're gonna take a shower, maybe it's a good idea to lock the door, though. I mean, why the hell did they decide to take a shower together when they knew I was coming right back? It's like they wanted to be seen. Kurisu especially, after all that talk about not wanting to spend the night with me around, she sure dropped her guard awfully fast. They're just lucky it was me who walked in on them. What if it had been the organization? They need to get serious. We're fighting for our lives here. By the way, I didn't see a Mongolian spa on Kurisu's butt, naturally. Anyway, how much longer are they going to shower? Looking at the clock, it's already been more than 15 minutes since I got back. They were yelling at me a few minutes ago, but now I hear laughter and happy squeals coming from the shower room. Sounds like they're having a good time. They get along almost like sisters. Wow, Chris-chan, you're so slim. But Mayuri, your breasts are so big. I'm jealous. They're checking each other out, aren't they? Mwahaha. In my head, I call up the memory of what I saw in the shower. Wet hair, beads of water glistening on their soapy skin, round, full treasures hidden by conveniently placed steam. I put my phone to my ear.
俺だ。少しまずい状況になりつつある。この最強マッドサイエンティストである法王院京馬が蒙古藩少女と能天気少女の姉妹から精神攻撃を受けている。ああ、これは今まで味わった中でも最大級の攻撃力だ。無防備こそ最強の攻撃だと思い知らされたよ。奴らめ、いよいよ本気を出してきたと見える。実にけしからん。
Oh boy.
少女たちを倒せ。 だと
Oh no.
そんなことができるものか。なぜなら奴らに操られているあの少女たちは俺の仲間であり幼なじみなのだから。どうしてもか。どうしても俺は彼女たちを倒さなければなら
Oh,
ないのか。
what are you talking about, my dude?
だとしたら俺は今回ばかりはシュタインズゲートの選択を恨むぞ。ヘルブサイくぐれる。
After a moment to collect myself, I put away my phone. I need some air. 2 days have passed since Kurisu and Mayuri came to stay. During that time, Daru and I have done our best to support Kurisu's work on the Phonewave, named subject to change. According to Daru, it should be easy to use the LHC to generate black holes for our use. The black holes form at the proton collision point where the lifter is installed and exist for only a few seconds before evaporating. During those few seconds, SERN throws a human into the singularity. We'll use those few seconds too. The gravity of the black hole compresses matter to infinite density. SERN uses the lifter to keep the compression under control, but we don't want that. We're going to dial CERN's lifter down. Not so much it endangers the world, of course, but enough to compress our memory data to under 36 bytes. Daru has been coding the necessary program. As for me, I've been searching for our lifter, the unknown device that pumps electrons into the Phonewave named subject to change and keeps our black hole open. Kurisu couldn't find anything that could serve as a lifter inside the microwave, so it must be something on the outside. We're not sure what that could be, and so far we have no idea where to start looking. Yesterday I consulted Daru about that threatening email. But Daru insisted there's no way CERN could have discovered his hacking yet. Of course, I had him make doubly sure we hadn't been tracked. His test came back clean. I understand he's confident in his skills, and I trust him. If Daru says they haven't found out, then they haven't. But somehow knowing that does not ease my anxiety. It's Friday, and although we still haven't solved the lifter problem, Kurisu is just about done with the time leap machine. Oh, we might be able to do it this episode. Alright, Lukako. Have you gone to any festivals or fireworks shows this summer? Maybe you have plans to go with Mayuri-chan later. P.S. I did 22 practice swings with Samadare. No, too crowded. I'm being chased by the organization, remember? The last thing I need is a knife in my back. I don't know Mayuri's plans, but I'm pretty sure she's busy preparing for a different sort of festival soon to take place in Akure. Let's go with that one. Naturally, that means it's time for her to give me something else to worry about.
最終調整のために電話レンジを稼働させる。
I groan. In other words, we have to cause the electrical discharge phenomenon. There's a risk involved. A risk called Mr. Braun. As we know, the discharge phenomenon causes the entire building to shake. Last time, Mr. Braun threatened to raise our rent if it happened again. Well, just go back in time with memories of, like, the lottery numbers again, except those are your memories rather than giving the email to someone else. And just win the lottery, and then you can pay... Hell, forget about paying the rent at this place. Get something top of the line. Although I guess it'd have to be this place because it connects directly to, like, CERN's lines. But then you wouldn't have to worry about money at all. You could buy an air conditioner.
おかりん、あとは任せた。
I wonder if I'm right about that, about the reason the lifter has to do with the CRTs, and that's why it works when the store is open, and it doesn't work after a certain time.
フォローお願い。
つまり敵地に乗り込み死ねというのだな。
あんたの犠牲があって初めてタイムリープ用電話レンジは完成するのよ。
それにこれまでも店長のご機嫌取りに行ってたのはオカリンだったじゃん。
ならばなおさらたまにはお前たちが。
私は無理。あの店長さん以前にバイトから目の敵にされてる。
いいだろう。だが忘れるな。俺は絶対に死なん。不死鳥のごとく何度でも蘇るぞ。
And we also have to find out why, why does Suzuha hate Kurisu so much? My theory about Suzuha being Kurisu's like half-sister or something I think got blown out of the water, so I don't think that's it. With that said, I head down to handle things with Mr. Braun.
おかり じゃやだよ。
As I pass through the lounge, Mayuri looks up from her costume to see me off. When I step into the store, Mr. Braun, Suzuha, and the Chipmunk are watching some comedy show on the massive 42-inch CRT. Watching TV at noon without a customer in sight looks like business as usual at the Braun Tube Workshop.
おーす、岡部倫太郎。
I raise my hand in response to Suzuha's greeting. The chipmunk, Nai, quickly hides behind her father when she sees me.
この店は相変わらず繁盛していないようですね。
おう、岡部か。ブラウン管買ってけ。
いりません。俺は解雇中ではないのでね。買うなら液晶テレビを買いますよ。
I look around the store as I answer. Huh, I just thought of something. Like CERN's large... Oh my god! Yes, am I right? Like CERN's Large Hadron Collider, the Phonewave, name subject to change, must have some kind of electron feed to keep the black hole open. CERN calls this feed the lifter. We still haven't figured out what that is, nor what could be acting as a substitute lifter in our time machine. What if our lifter is somewhere in the shop? Whatever it is must be in close proximity to the Phonewave, name subject to change. It couldn't work otherwise, and the Braun Tube Workshop is located directly below the lab. Could our lifter be a CRT?
てめえ、最近女ばっか連れ込んでるらしいじゃねえか。
ばっかと言ってもいつもメンツは変わりませんよ。
Ferris, I was forcing myself to be cheerful for that last phone call, Nya. I actually feel like I could die, Nya. Whoa, I want to call Ferris. What's up with that? I wish I could call her. Like, that's... I mean, Ferris is one for exaggerating, but I still want to check up on her, make sure she's okay.
私もこの前お邪魔してきたよ。
たまには俺も呼べ。若い娘と話してみて。
お父さん、不潔。
違うぞ、ナエ。これは社会勉強であり、それと顧客獲得のための営業活動なんだよ。
Check out this scary-looking guy trying desperately to explain himself to his daughter. Hilarious.
そもそもさ、店長の言い草じゃまるで私が若くないみたいじゃん。
若くはないな。
Suzuha's the same age as Daru and I, which makes her older than Mayuri or Kurisu.
なーにー？岡部倫太郎、なんつった？
事実だろ。
ナエ、お父さんはお前さえいれば幸せなんだからな。ね。
うん、わかってるよ。でも不潔っぽいことはもう言わないでね。
もちろん約束するさ。
Then he joins Pinkies with his daughter. Damn, Mr. Braun, you're way off character. How does a guy like him produce a daughter like that? Nai is one of the kindest, gentlest girls I've ever met. I don't know why she's so afraid of me, though. Anyway, I came here to explain that the building's about to shake. How do I avoid having my head ripped off? How many more earthquakes do you think this building can handle? No, that's way too obvious. An earthquake is coming. My magic eye, reading Steiner, has seen it in the future. Escape while you still can. Yeah, that might work.
ねえ、昨日も椎名真由里は泊まったの？
ああ。
ってことはマキセ・クリスも？
ああ。二人とも上にいる。
そっか。
Suzuha's hostility towards Kurisu hasn't abated.
お前の方はどうだ？
どうだって？
少しは元気が出たのか？
ああ、うん。まあね。捜索は継続中。
あ？おいバイト、何の話だよ。
私父さんを探してるんだって店長にも前話したじゃん。
ああ、その話か。岡部、探してやれ。
Why does he think he can boss me around?
無論だ。鈴葉はすでにラボメンとなっているのだからな。俺とその他メンバーに任せておけ。
Suzuha looks at me with a smile that shines through the gloom filling the store.
岡部倫太郎って私と同い年なのにすごく年上って感じだな。なんかぐいぐい引っ張ってく力があるよね。
It's the first time anyone said that to me. It makes me kind of happy.
当たり前だ。俺は王院京馬なのだからな。
The chipmunk cowers in terror as I unveil my madness. I can see tears pooling in her eyes. This is not a good way to appeal to Mr. Braun and make him, sympathetic to us. I guess my aura is just too powerful for a grade school girl to endure.
岡部、もし次大声出して苗を怯えさせたら殺す。
すみません。
でもさ、
Oh, Suzuha takes my arm and leads me away from the Tenojis, who have gone back to watching TV.
これだけは忠告しとくけど、マキセクリスには留意して。
留意。
Circumspect. Why can't you just say careful like a normal person? Yeah, you're one to tell people to be normal. Not that I'm one to talk, at least he's self-aware.
またか。ただの逆恨みだろ。
Suzuha shakes her head firmly.
違う。これは事実。私はそれを存知している。
Perniciousness. Is she saying Kurisu is dangerous? She's throwing out words I have never heard of before. There's something strange about the way Suzuha is talking, and it's not just her fondness for uncommon words. I'm telling you, she's from the future. She's from the future. There's something else. Something.
あの女の頭脳は危険すぎ。それに、結局あいつ、実験のことしか考えてないんだ。
Suzuha's eyes are hard, and her voice is as cold as ice. I can tell she means every word she says. Well, she's from the future. Maybe she knows something I don't.
君たちは利用されてるだけだよ。いい？よく聞いて。あの女は、セルンに通じてる。
What? What? I didn't see that coming. No, that's impossible. CERN is our enemy. If Daru's hacking is discovered, I have no doubt they will do everything in their power to destroy us. How can Kurisu be connected to CERN? Or maybe Suzuha's connected to CERN. She's trying to throw us off the trail and get us to distrust Kurisu.
つまりスパイだと言いたいのか。
Suzuha nods firmly.
タイムマシン開発の功績も、あの女のものになった。
Yeah. Oh, she's saying was. She is from the future. Again, Suzuha's words sound strange to my ears, but I still can't place my finger on why.
だからさ、気を許しちゃダメ。
I don't believe it. I saw Kurisu's anger when she learned what CERN had been doing. She called their actions a betrayal of scientists everywhere. How can someone with such a pure love of science be connected to CERN? But if what Suzuha says is true... Oh. Could she be the one who sent that threatening email? I suspected Moeka, but... Suddenly, the ground starts to shake. Kurisu started the experiments? Oh shit, but I haven't talked to Mr. Braun yet. Or she's just trying to get me out of the room. Damn it. Once again, now's the time in the game where I'm starting to distrust everybody.
おい、こら岡部。
Sure enough, veins on Mr. Braun's forehead swell in response to the shaking.
揺らすなって何度言ったらわかんだ。若い娘だろうが俺は容赦しねえぞ。家賃1万円アップだ。
待ってくださいミスターブラウン。これは我がラボの仕業ではなく自信だ。俺の魔眼リーディングシュタイナーがそう予知を。
自信だ。そんなごまかしが通用すると思ってるのか。
The shaking gets more intense, knocking over CRT. Oh shit.
ブラウンカちゃんが。
Crap, I can't talk my way out of this one.
てめえ、岡部。
Mr. Braun clearly wants to snap my neck like a twig, but he elects to protect his greatest treasure, the 42-inch CRT, instead. He grabs the remote and switches it off, then grabs hold of the TV and hangs on for dear life. Ooh, maybe by switching off the TV it's gonna stop this, and then we're gonna pinpoint which one it is. Oh, it did too. It did too. Okay.
収まった？
みたいだな。
Wait, it's over? It is the CRT? I carefully step through the rubble and take the remote from the dazed Mr. Braun's hand. And of course, it's his, like, it's his favorite one that we have to try and maybe convince him to let us have. I press the red power button. The 42-inch CRT instantly comes to life. I stare at the image on screen and smile.
どうしたの？
見つけた。ついに見つけたぞ。これに間違いない。これほどわかりやすいのになぜ気づかなかったのだ俺は。いや、今この瞬間に気づいたことこそがシュタインズゲートの選択だということか。
おい岡部、何笑ってやがる。うちの娘を怖がらせるな。それとブラウン管の弁償と家賃値上げだからな。おい、
少し静かにしていただきましょうか、ミスター・ブラウン。今まさに俺は時空の支配者となることが確定したのですからね。
I gotta say, whoever the voice actor is for Okabe has probably had a lot of fun doing this role. Stars explode behind my eyes as Mr. Braun drives his fist into the top of my head. The world spins. I struggle to get a hold of my shaken brain.
この俺に暴力を振るとは。
ああ、
ミスター・ブラウン、ブラウン化の弁償についてはひとまずつけて頼みます。
With that, I fly out of the workshop. I rub my head. It hurts like hell. Damn that Mr. Braun. Did he really have to crack me so hard? Maybe I should report him for assault. Thanks to that brutality, I had to make a strategic retreat. Fortunately, I did not emerge empty-handed. The extra 10,000 yen a month will hurt, but in exchange, I have acquired information essential to the success of my plan.
結果オーライだな。
おかりー、今揺れたけど下は大丈夫だった？
I'll say 10,000 yen. It's not too bad considering what they're doing to his building, but once again, he could just go back in time, get some lottery numbers, and then he won't have to worry about rent ever again. Mayuri and Kurisu appear in the second-story window.
本当に不死鳥のごとく復活してるわね。
クリスティーナ、俺は今ここで予言しよう。3分後、お前はこの俺の偉大さに気づき、尊敬の念を抱くとな。
それはないと思う。
I run up the stairs.
なんでそんなわかりやすいことに今まで気づかなかった？
When I tell Kurisu about the 42-inch CRT downstairs, that's her first reaction.
なぜ俺は責められているのか。
責めてるんじゃない。私も含めて誰も気づけなかった間抜けさにがっかりしてるだけ。
東大元暮らしはガチ。
整理すると、さっき2階で電話レンジカッコ仮を稼働させ、ビルが揺れ出した時は42型のブラウン管テレビはついていた。だがテレビを消すと、それに同期するようにして揺れも収まったのだ。
放電現象は途中で強制的に中断されたわ。
Well, let's hope that whatever experiment she was doing by having it interrupted, it didn't fuck things up.
念のためにバナナを入れておいたんだけど、ゼリーマンにはならなかった。
Alright, good to know that she wasn't like messing around with people's memories and stuff yet.
それはね、いいことだと思うな。
Nobody replies to Mayuri's off-point statement. We're busy reading about cathode ray tubes on the internet. It doesn't take long before we find something interesting. A cathode ray tube has a component called an electron gun, which uses extreme heat and a strong electric field to accelerate electrons and turn them into a beam. The area where an electric force has influence, for example, rubbing a balloon and putting it close to your head, makes your hair rise due to the influence of the resulting static electric fields. The electron beam striking the TV screen's phosphor layer is what generates the picture. An electron gun could certainly work as a lifter.
解は出たわね。42型ブラウン管が放出している電子が電話レンジの作り出したリング特異点に干渉していた。放電現象はその影響よ。
夜になると電話レンジが使えなくなったのはブラウン管工房が閉まってる時間だったからか。
The Braun Tube Workshop doesn't have especially strict business hours, but it's usually open from around 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That matches up perfectly with my observation that the Phonewave, named subject to change, only works between noon and 6 p.m. The few instances that hasn't worked during that time frame can be explained by the TV being off.
だがブラウン管がそんなに強力な電子を放出しているとは思えん。
電子量は強ければいいというわけじゃない。そんな単純な問題ならセルンはとっくに問題を解決している。
I see, so it can't be too strong or too weak. By freak coincidence, the 42-inch CRT's electron gun appears to have exactly the right level of electron discharge. That's the only explanation.
まさに偶然の一致よ。ここには奇跡的にタイムマシンができる環境が揃っていた。
Or, I was gonna say, I feel like maybe a miracle, maybe this was set up in the future to happen now? It just seems too much of a coincidence.
いや違うなクリスティーナ。すべてはシュタインズゲートの選択だ。
Rather than glare at me as she has so many times in the past, Kurisu shoots me an exasperated smile.
別になんだっていいけど。
Mairi looks up from her costume with a question in her eyes.
つまりね、スーパー電話レンジちゃんを完成させるためにはどうすればいいの？
原因が究明できたなら恐れることはない。
Alright, we're gonna do it. Are we
あ
gonna do
の
it this
大きな
episode?
ブラウン管がついているとき、タイムリープは可能になるという解を導けると思う。
さっき中断された最終調整も含めてさ、もう一回は実験が必要じゃね？
そうね。岡部、
なんだ。
もう一度下に行ってあのブラウン管をつけてきて。
クリスティーナよ。それは実に面白い冗談だな。それに対する俺の答えはミッションインポッシブルだ。
I'm not going back down there. My head still hurts from last time. Next time, I doubt I'll make it out alive. Send one of the cute girls
い
instead.
いからさっさと行きなさいよ。
Kurisu orders me with a sour look. It's like I'm the assistant here.
あんたならできるって。さっきだってすごい発見してきたでしょ。
常習よ。お前この俺を偉大なマッドサイエンティストだと認めているか？
Or she's just playing to your ego to get you to do what she wants.
いいえ。
あ、
ぐほー、即答とかひどす。
あ、しまった。
Yeah,
頑張らせ
exactly.
るならここははいって言っておくべきだった。というわけで、はい。
遅いわ。
リフターの代替装置が見つかった今、タイムリープマシンは 99% 出来上がってる。
Kurisu's expression suddenly turns serious, but I can see the hunger in her eyes and the flush of excitement on her cheeks. She knows that we stand on the threshold of a new age in science, and she cannot resist the lure of the unknown. She's a true scientist, no doubt about it.
このラボの夢でしょ、タイムマシンは。
Our dream. I've never really thought about it that way. But she's right. My hands are shaking. Not from fear of Mr. Braun, but from excitement.
この俺の夢は時空を意のままに操り、これまでの支配構造をぶち壊すこと。そして
岡部、
Kurisu interrupts my speech.
私は法王院じゃなくて岡部の意見が聞きたい。
She spears me with her gaze. I meet it head on. After a few moments, I feel my mouth curve into a smile.
上等だ。すべて 俺に任せるがいい。
With that, I head downstairs. A cracked skull and an empty wallet are a small price to pay for science. Kurisu and Daru send me off with applause for some reason. Mayuri's the only one who looks worried, but I pat her head in reassurance. When I get downstairs, Suzuha and the chipmunk are sitting side by side on the bench outside.
ウィス
Nai gives me a quick bow, then hides behind Suzuha.
店長、さっきのでめちゃくちゃ機嫌悪くなっちゃってさ。今ないと退避中。
Damn, now I really don't want to go in there.
さっき思いっきりごっちんされてたけど、大丈夫？
Get Nai to do it. He would never say no to her.
この俺の世界遺産級の価値がある頭脳をよりによって殴るとはね。あの一撃により一体何億個のニューロンが死に絶え、人類の未来に多大な損失を被ったことか。
Lukako, you and Mayuri-chan don't go to places together? You're both lab members, and I heard you were childhood friends, so I thought, I'm sorry if I misunderstood. P.S. I did 30 practice swings with Samadare.
それは惜しい人を亡くしたな。
Suzuha clasps her hands in solemn prayer. I'm not dead, just my brain cells.
ごめんなさい。お父さんがひどいことして。
Well, then you can go do something for me. Do me a favor.
こんな小動物め、なんと人間的によくできた娘なのだ。
I can't believe she's Mr. Braun's daughter.
案ずるな。俺も店長には迷惑をかけたし、おあいこだ。
Nai smiles slightly at my words of comfort.
時にバイト選手よ。お前に協力を頼みたい。ミスター・ブラウンの目を5秒でいいから引きつけておいてもらいたいのだ。
Suzuha's eyes start to shine.
色仕掛けだね。
She flexes her bicep for some reason.
触ってみ？
She insists, so I poke it. It's just as hard as her confidence suggests. She's probably stronger than me. But I don't understand what flexing has to do with seduction.
誰も色仕掛けをしろとは言っていない。お前がやりたいと言うなら構わんが。
それぐらいできなきゃ戦士失格だし。それにさ、父さんのこと一緒に探すって言ってくれたでしょ。だから私もできるだけ君に協力したい。
なるほど。ならば戦士よ、任せるぞ。
オーキードーキー。鈴葉お姉ちゃん、お父さんをいじめないでね。いじめたりしないって。
いかにも。
I want to complain that he's the one being mean, but I just said we were even, so I refrain.
苗はここで待ってて。
The chipmunk nods. When we enter the store, we find Mr. Braun cleaning up the pieces of the broken CRT. When our eyes meet, another vein pops on his forehead.
筋を通しに来たのなら聞いてやる。ただし、賃下げ要求には応じねえからな。
先ほどは失礼しました。こちらも気が動転していたのでね。そこで謝罪の意も込めて我がラボを代表し、ここにいる天音鈴葉からミスター・ブラウン、あなたにプレゼントを贈らせてもらう。
店長、刮目せよ。
Oh, what's she gonna do? Oh no, with a vigorous shout, which in no way seems appropriate for seduction, Suzuha whips off her jacket and... Oh!
Yeah!
What? Throw it in Mr. Braun's face? What the hell? Okay, what, this game went from like... Whoa, okay. I can see her bra. Like, it went from, like, no fan service pretty much to, like, this episode is, like, all the fan service. No, wait. That's not a bra, but a tight tank top that leaves her midriff bare. Yet Suzuha shows no sign of embarrassment as she rushes Mr. Braun. She slips behind him, grabs his coat, and pulls it tight against his face.
岡部倫太郎、今だ。
Now, wait just a second. Is this your idea of seduction? It looks like you're trying to suffocate him.
早く。
Mr. Braun flails his arms, trying to escape Suzuha's restraint. There's a huge difference in strength between the two. It's only a matter of time before he shakes Suzuha off.
よくやった戦士よ。お前の英雄的行動に感謝する。
Realizing that the only choice is to go for it, I dash to the counter, grab the remote, and switch on the 42-inch CRT. After about 2 seconds, an image appears on the giant screen. At the same time, the steeling starts shaking. Kurisu activated the Phonewave, name subject to change with perfect timing.
また揺れてる。岡部倫太郎、これって。
Did she really take off her clothes without knowing why?
助かったぞバイト戦士。できればあと10秒ほどそのまま拘束していてくれ。
During that time, I escaped from the store. Outside, Nai's following earthquake drill procedure, crouching while protecting her head. I ignore that and look up to the second floor. At exactly the same time, Kurisu appears in the window and gives me a happy thumbs up. But a second later, she blushes, shoots me a glare, and disappears inside as if nothing happened. What's with her attitude? I'm risking my life here. In any case, the experiment was a success. The 42-inch CRT was the key, as I suspected. Now, how do I explain this to Mr. Ron? Yeah, your run's gonna be going up by probably like another $1,000. I don't want him to kick us out of the building. Perhaps I shouldn't have left it to Suzuha. I timidly peek into the store to gauge the situation.
ちょっと店長、私の服返してよ。
Suzuha is there fidgeting in her tank top as Mr. Braun glares down at her. How did she think this was gonna go after, like, her plan? And she's like, did you think he was just gonna be, like, forgive her?
うっせえ。これは没収だ。
この変態。
変態はおめえだろうが。いきなり脱ぎ出したと思ったら、服を俺の顔面に押し付けてくるとは。
Ew.
大したプレーだったぜ。岡部に感謝しねえとな。
プレイとか言わないでくんないかな。キモい。
とにかく今日は一日その格好で仕事しやがれ。へそだし結構。なんなら店の前で客引きしてくれてもいいんだぜ。
Ew, Mr. Braun, you promised your daughter you weren't gonna be creepy.
苗に言いつけるよ。
Exactly.
はは。あの子はおめえより俺の言葉を信じるだろうよ。
そう。
No problems here. Suzuha's seduction strategy worked, I guess. Mr. Braun, what a guy. A little while later, I'm lying on the sofa watching high school baseball. Kumamoto and Aichi are locked in a fierce struggle for the playoffs. Yes, this is all well and good. I want to do the time leap. Just then, the clack-clack of the sewing machine in the lounge suddenly stops.
おかりん、ちょっと来て。
She motions for me while holding the costume. What does she want? I walk over to her.
これをね、持っててくれないかな。こうしてビローンって広げて。
まゆし、今のビローンもう一度。
ビローン。
ビローンいただきました。
Oh boy.
もうやだこの変態。
I follow Mayuri's direction and spread the costume out by the sleeves. She inspects it from a few paces away. It's hard to believe given her usual ditziness, but Mayuri is very serious about her art. That's why cosplayers value her costume so highly. The costume I'm holding now is custom made for Lukako. I thought Lukako was against it, but I guess Mayuri managed to persuade her. Well, good on him for, like, knowing to call Luka a girl now. Mayuri looks tired. She's been working all night. But that doesn't dim the brightness of her satisfied smile.
できた
完成か。
ー。クリスちゃんより先にできたよ。競争してたんだ。
負けたわ、まゆり。お見事ね。
Damn you, assistant. She treats me and Daru like garbage, but Mayuri gets the sisterly touch.
でも、こっちももう終わりよ。
Kurisu connects the two cords she's holding.
完成。
Celebration is in order. But nobody cheers.
引き分けだね。
ああ、疲れたお。 エイリスさんに癒されたい。
Honestly, I don't feel like cheering either. And it's not because I'm tired. We worked around the clock for 3 straight days to finish the time leap machine, but now that it's complete, I realize that part of me never truly believed it would happen. I feel my enthusiasm cooling rapidly, the fire quenched by one stark question. What do we do with it? I look at Kurisu. She too seems less than enthused.
私たちひょっとするととんでもないものを作っちゃったかもしれない。
I look at the improved Phonewave, name subject to change again. I want him to figure out a damn name. I hate saying name subject to change. The biggest change is the headgear attached to the X6 8000. It looks like something out of a low-budget cyberpunk movie. Fortunately, you don't need nerve jacks or brain chips for it to work. You just put it on and let the sensors do the rest.
とりあえず正式名称を決めようではないか。
Yes, please. Thank you.
Heavenly Express。
電話レンジサードエディションバージョン 1.00。
帽子付き電話レンジじゃん。
I like Myri's. No consensus.
あんたたちって本当に能天気ね。
クリスティーナは危険か？
タイムリープマシン。
これはひどい。
You're one to talk.
何よ、シンプルイズベストでしょ。この2日間岡部だってそのネーミングで呼んでたし。
助手はネーミングセンスゼロのようだ。
中二病丸出しのあんたに言われたくない。
おお、まさかマキセ氏が中二病って言葉を知ってるとは。やるじゃん。
Daro, she said it like multiple times already.
たまたまだから勘違いしないで。
Ha, a bold-faced lie. She should just confess to being an at-channeler. Kurisu meets my grin with an icy glare.
マユリ、最終決定権者としてどれか一つ選んでくれ。
Whenever the lab is divided on a name, the right to decide belongs to Myri.
タイムリープマシンがいいと思います。帽子付き電話レンジちゃんとね、すごく迷ったけど。
マユ氏のことだからそうなると思ったぞな。
だから言ったでしょ、シンプルイズベストだって。まゆりはよくわかってる。
I want to object, but it's an unwritten rule not to complain once Myri's made a decision.
ではタイムリープマシンで決定とする。助手、全員にわかるようにこのタイムリープマシンの仕組みについてレクチャーしてくれ。
I know the basics, but I want to hear details. Alright, here comes the very, like, scientific and detailed stuff. I'm just like, I just want to do the time leap. Kurisu nods and stands in front of the whiteboard.
一言で言うと、これは記憶をデータ化してリング特異点を通過させ過去へ飛ばす装置。電話レンジには偶然にもタイターが語ったタイムマシンとほぼ同じ機能が備えられていた。リング特異点を生み出し、そのトンネルを通って過去へと36バイトプラスアルファのデータを転送することができる。局所場して、つまり過去のどこへ到達するかについては携帯電話に限定することでクリアした。 D メールと違って今回は電話をかける形にしたから、メールアドレスじゃなくて電話番号によって局所場指定することになる。生み出されたリング特異点の超重力を安定させ裸にするための電子注入装置リフターの役割は開花の42型ブラウン管がそれを担ってる。
She's explained the basics. Next, she'll explain the modification she made to turn the Phonewave, name subject to change, into a time leap machine.
電話レンジには新たにヘッドギアを接続した。これによって側頭葉、正確に言うと海馬の CA3 に蓄積されている記憶の神経パルスパターンを操作するの。
Alright, hippocampus CA3. The hippocampus is divided into 3 histological sections, CA1, CA2, and CA3. CA refers to the name given to the hippocampus by anatomist Garen Gyot in 1742, Cornu Ammonis, the horn of Amen.
その解析データは VR 技術を用いて神経パルス信号から電気信号へとエンコードしデータ化される。
データ容量はおよそ 3.24 テラだお。
3.24 terabytes. It's less than I expected. We're talking about the entirety of a person's memories.
ちなみにこのデータにはあらかじめ次元式のデコードプログラムを仕掛けておく。これはプログラムに詳しい人なら誰でもできるものよ。橋田にプログラムを作ってもらった。この電気信号データをネットを通してフランスにあるセルンの LHC へと転送。
This building has a direct line to CERN for some reason, so we can transfer data at insanely high speeds.
3.24 テラのデータを転送するのにかかる時間は？
直通回線は1本だけじゃなくて64本が束になってるんだ。だから64分割して並列に送ればだいたい45秒ぐらいでいけると思われ。
That's pretty fast.
LHC を遠隔操作してミニブラックホールを作ったら、その周辺で生み出される超重力による無限圧縮を利用してデータを36バイトまで圧縮する。
3 terabytes is about 3 trillion bytes. Compressing that into just 36 bytes. That's one hell of a squeeze.
圧縮にも時間がかかるのか？
こっちは一瞬。何しろブラックホールの力使ってるからだいたい23ミリ秒でいける。
ちなみにバイナリデータの超圧縮はミニブラックホール周辺でのみ有効よ。そこから離れた時点でデータは勝手に解凍を始めてしまう。解凍までにかかる時間も圧縮時と同じ23ミリ秒。
その間に LHC からこのペケロッパを経由して電話レンジまで戻さないといけない。36バイトプラスアルファ程度のデータなら楽勝で間に合うお。
クリスティーナ、続けろ。
タイムリープマシン側では起動と同時にカーブラックホール効果が発生してリング特異点が生成されてる。放電現象が発生したら LHC から36バイトプラスアルファまで圧縮したデータを戻しリング特異点内を通り抜けさせる。この辺は電話レンジとやることは同じ。データはタイマーに入力しておいた時間分を遡り過去の携帯電話へとつながる。リング特異点を通り抜けて過去の携帯電話に到達する頃には23ミリ秒が経過してデータは自動的に解凍されてるはず。解凍と同時にデコードプログラムが展開して電気信号から神経パルス信号に戻す。受信先の携帯電話に到達すると神経パルス信号は送話口から 0.02 アンペアほどの微弱な放電現象となって発せられるの。これが携帯電話を耳に当てている受信者のこめかみ付近に放射されるわけ。
受信者が電話の呼び出しに出るのが前提だな。
出なければ記憶の転送は失敗に終わる。まあこの場合は特にデメリットは何もないわ。コピーデータが消滅するだけだから。
メールではなく電話をかけることにした理由は？
携帯電話が受信者のこめかみ付近にあることでデータを受信者の側頭葉に送り込みやすくなるから。
She indicates the side of her head.
人間のこめかみ周辺には大脳前頭葉と大脳側頭葉が位置してるんだけど、最初に言った通り側頭葉は海馬傍回があって記憶を貯蓄する場所なの。そこに送信者の全記憶の塊である神経パルス信号が携帯電話から放射される。これで記憶の上書きは完了。同時に携帯電話からは前頭葉を刺激する神経パルス信号も出すわ。これ重要。前頭葉から側頭葉へはトップダウン記憶検索信号というのが発信されてる。これは記憶を思い出す時に発信される信号。前頭葉を刺激する神経パルスを放射することでこのトップダウン記憶検索信号を意図的に発信させる。これによって送信者から送られた全記憶を受信者に強制的に思い出させるという作用が発生する。未来の記憶を思い出すのよ。それに必要な時間は1秒に満たない。結果受信者は送信者と全く同じ記憶を持つ状態となりタイムリープは完了。例えば送信者と受信者の時間差が1週間ある場合、受信者は 1週間後の未来までに自分が体験した記憶を思い出すことになるわけ。注意すべきなのは、意識や人格は転送しないということ。その2つは受信者に依存する。
おっぱいに例えて教えてくれ。
お
Karisu dissolves into a blushing, stammering mess. Looks like it's up to me to answer Dara's question. Not with boobs, obviously.
現在のダルの記憶を小学生の頃のダルへと転送したとする。今のダルは2次元にも3次元にも無機物にも燃えられる変態だが、小学生時代はまだまだ無邪気な鼻垂れ小僧だったはず。
小学校時代の僕はそれは真面目なクソガキでしたが、何か？
つまり記憶は今の19歳の変態ダルのものだが、意識、人格はその真面目なクソガキのままとなる。見た目は子供、頭脳は大人な名探偵は成立しないということだ。
なんだ、つまらん。
This isn't like the time leaping you see in sci-fi novels. We aren't yet capable of transferring personality and consciousness.
携帯がブラックホールとホワイトホールのような役割を果たすから、記憶を送れるのは自分が携帯を持ってる時期の範囲内になる。注意すべきなのは、送信者と受信者は同一人物でなければならないということ。例えば過去の自分ではなく、親や友達が代わりに出てしまった場合、神経パルス信号はその親や友達に向けて放射される。
See, I'd be fucked if I was the recipient for that, because I don't answer phone calls that I don't recognize. So, unless I was like, why am I calling myself? Let me answer that. I would not receive the message, because I'm like, if it's a phone number I don't recognize, I don't pick up the phone.
そうなると、親や友達の体に送信者の記憶が上書きされてしまう。下手をする。
I wonder if we're gonna have that happen. Karisu ends her explanation and takes a short breath. The lab falls into silence. Let's do the time leap, come on! I exchange glances with Karisu and Daru. I look at Mayuri, but her expression is blank. I guess it was too complicated for her.
それで
I clear my throat. It's time for the million-dollar question.
どうする？
どうするって？
タイムリープマシンの扱いについてだ。
For once, my assistant has nothing to say. I already know that she fears we've created a monster. Honestly, I feel the same way. After a few moments, Karisu finally speaks.
私たちの手に負える代物じゃないのは確かよ。一番無難なのは研究機関に譲渡して国家プロジェクト扱いにしてもらうことね。
I can tell she's not pleased to have reached this conclusion. She obviously would prefer to experiment with this technology. After all, it's humanity's first time machine. We've finally taken our first steps towards godhood. I'm sure that the nations of the world would pay billions for just one look at our machine. The possibilities that it represents are limitless.
実感が湧かないな。
マユシーも湧かないよ。
いや、マユシは何も手伝ってないからっしょ。
あ、そうだったね。
岡部の意見は？ちなみに法王院じゃなくて岡部の意見ね。
I agree with Karisu that the time leap machine is dangerous. What if that's how the game ended? We just handed it off to the government and then that was it. On the other hand,
実験してみたい気持ちはある。
I state my honest feelings. Karisu gasps.
だが実際にタイムリープを行うには問題が多すぎる。
This is unknown territory, not just for us, but for all of humanity.
誰がタイムリープするんだ？
I look to each of the lab mems in turn. Daru quickly looks away. Mayuri's expression is blank. Karisu stares right back at me.
誰って決めるのは難しい。
僕はパス。
Not a single person here wants the honor of being history's first time traveler. Everyone, except for Mayuri, is probably thinking about what could go wrong. What if the time leap were to fail?
セルンのタイムマシンみたいにジェリーマン化する可能性はゼロよ。このマシンで送るのはデータであって 実物じゃないんだから。タイムリープに対する先入観にとらわれないで。まるで意識そのものをカット&ペーストするように思われるかもしれないけど、そうじゃなくてあくまでもコピー&ペーストなの。しかも記憶だけをね。
And yet
オ
she's
リジ
not
ナルが消える
volunteering.
ことはない。
That's a very easy to understand example, but that's not the problem. Time flows in a straight line from past to present to future. At least that's how most humans see it. This raises several questions.
過去へ転送したデータが何らかのミスでフラクタル構造化してしまう可能性はある。もし仮に俺が1時間前へタイムリープしたとして、フラクタル構造化によりスカスカになった記憶データが1時間前の俺の脳にぶち込まれるかもしれない。それは一種の記憶喪失と同じ状態になりかねないのでは。
It's funny though, it's like it's the Hoyen Kiyoma versus Okabe, where it's like Hoyen is like, oh, I can't wait to use the time leap machine and cause chaos, but then when it's actually in front of him and ready to go, now he's pausing and thinking realistically about it.
かもね。
もしそうなった場合、その1時間後には現在に到達することになる。その時1時間遡った記憶喪失の俺と現在の俺が俺の脳で競合するわけだが、どちらのデータが生き残る？
理屈で考えれば1時間前にコピーが移された時点で今も変化するから。
The conflicting current me disappears then.
それはつまりコピー&ペーストではないということにならないか？
わからない。未だかつて時間を超越した前例なんて一つもないから。
D メールでは世界は改変後に沿って再構成された。
I'm the only one who's aware of this, however.
タイムリープしてどうなるかはわからないのよ。タイターが言うように多世界解釈ならタイムリープした時点で別の世界線に分岐する可能性と、同じ世界線のまま時間だけを遡る可能性が同時に存在することになる。と同時に現在の岡部が消えない可能性の世界線も当然存在しているわけで、おそらくこの現在はそれに該当することになると思う。
But that's only if the many worlds interpretation holds in the first place.
お前はタイターの言うことは信じていないのではなかったのか？
可能性の話をしている。タイターはこの際どうでもいい。コペンハーゲン解釈ならあらゆる状態が波動関数として空間に広がっていることになる。そして観測者が観測した瞬間、どちらかに状態が収束する。
The Copenhagen wave function first. In quantum theory, a function representing a quantum state. Scientists are not sure if wave functions represent reality or are a convenient mathematical abstraction to describe what goes on in quantum mechanics. Copenhagen interpretation, a well-known approach to the Schrodinger's cat thought experiment. In this interpretation, before the box is open, the cat exists as a combination of two wave functions, one that is alive and one that is dead. The instant the box is opened and the cat is observed, the wave function collapses to either condition. If the cat is alive upon opening the box, the wave function collapses to become alive cat. Conversely, if the cat is dead, the wave function collapses to become dead cat. Another quantum approach to this experiment is the many worlds interpretation. In this case, the observer who found the cat alive and the observer who found the cat dead exist in two separate universes that diverge the moment the box is opened. The Copenhagen interpretation is currently the dominant theory. But precise observation is impossible.
観測者は誰かというのも問題だ。
第三者じゃね？僕とかマユシとか。
そうとは限らない。観測者は俺かもしれないし、それ以外の誰かかもしれないし、神かもしれない。
To begin with, the Copenhagen interpretation and the many worlds interpretation are both micro-scale theories used to explain quantum interactions. No one knows whether they can be applied to humans or to the world at large. What about my personal experiences with reading Steiner? If reading Steiner is the sort of power I think it is, then the world line model is correct.
結局は意識はどこにあるという問題に行き着く。
このタイムリープマシンが転送するのはあくまで記憶だけ。それは間違いない。
転送された時点で今も再構成されるんじゃね？オカリンはリーディングシュタイナーでそれと同じような現象に遭遇したわけっしょ。
D メールの場合はそれで納得できた。あれは過去にメールで干渉する行為だというのが明確だったからな。しかしタイムリープは自分の記憶を過去へ送り込む行為であり、干渉するかしないかは明確にしていない。未来の記憶を思い出した1時間前の俺が因果に干渉するのかしないのかはその状況になってみなければわからないはず。
頭がこんがらがってきた。なんかもう宗教の分野じゃね？魂はどこにあるかって話しよう。
待って、あんたたちは勘違いしている。人格と意識は1時間前の岡部も今の岡部も何も変わらない。1時間分の記憶を持っているかいないか、違いはそれだけよ。
そうなのか？本当に？
絶対とは言い切れないけど、何しろ誰も試したことはないんだから。
So let's try it. I'm just like, let's do it. I want to do this. Come on. This discussion is going nowhere, so let's just do it. What other way to know than to do it? Personality and consciousness can't be strictly defined, so it's hard to imagine what might happen.
結局どっち？
だからわからないの。ここでどれだけうだうだ議論したって全ては予測止まりなんだから。
Or
こ
we
の
can
実験
do
は
it.
人類のこれまでの既成概念を崩壊させるものになるかもね。
We won't know until we try. That pretty much sums it up. To make matters worse, the subject must be prepared to risk damage to their psyche. Kurisu and Daru and I say no more. We can't solve this problem. This is our limit as scientists. But haven't we accomplished enough already? The time leap machine itself is worthy of a Nobel Prize. We could sell this technology for billions if we so choose. And if we go public with the time leap machine, we can break CERN's monopoly in time travel technology. That's enough. It has to be.
ねえね
Is she going to volunteer? Myri, who's been observing the discussion with glassy eyes, opens her mouth to speak.
え、マユシーはね、難しいことはよくわかんないけど、例えばね、マユシーの買ってきたバナナをタイムリープさせるのはどうかな。
I was literally just to make a... I was about to make a joke about her, like, let's put a banana in there, and she said it.
マユリったらバナナには人間みたいに脳はないでしょ。
そっか、それじゃあダメだね。
Myri never changes. The atmosphere in the room gets a little more relaxed.
実験は
No!
しないでおく。
I wanted to time leap this episode.
タイムリープマシンはしかるべき研究機関に託そう。そして世間に公表する。
Thanks to the lightening of the mood, I can finally say what was on my mind. Neither Kurisu nor Daru objects. Damn it! No one has touched the time leap machine since that discussion. Ridiculous as it sounds, I can't shake the feeling it might suck my memories out and fling them into the past. Oh, the machine does have its appeal, of course. We're all tempted by the idea of becoming humanity's first time leapers. Yet the fear of what could happen won out in the end. Perhaps as a way to forget our fears and move on, we decide to hold a celebration to mark the completion of the device. Everyone feels the need to let loose after working so hard on the project. I have Daru order pizza while Kurisu and I go shopping for snacks. Akiba has always had a lack of supermarkets. That hasn't changed even with the anime stores gone. Oh, I think that's the girl that's on my wallpaper on the phone. After we finish shopping, Kurisu and I walk along the evening streets. She looks as if she's got something to say. She keeps stealing glances at me.
不満か？
不満？
She frowns like she didn't expect that question. Finally, she faces this way.
実験をしなかったことについて。
まさか。人間は根源的に時間的存在者である。ハイデガーの言葉よ。あんたが実験はしないと決めてくれた時、私はむしろほっとした。誰か止める人がいてくれなかったら、私は歯止めが効かなくなってたかも。ありがとう。
Oh my gosh, look at her being nice. What's this? Gratitude? Does she have a fever? I put my hand to her forehead to check, and Kurisu twitches.
おい、何してる？
熱があるせいで女子らしいことを言い出したのかと思ってな。
I drop my hand.
別にあんたに感謝してるわけじゃないからな。
Her voice is louder than it should be, and several people glance at us. Kurisu blushes and hangs her head. If Dara were here, he'd probably get all excited and say, "A real tsundere, sweet." Or tsundere. I just still don't know if I'm saying that right. Kurisu clears her throat and returns to her usual sour expression.
形式的にお礼を言っただけだから勘違いしないで。
勘違いなどするものか。俺は当然のことをしたまでだからな。
Part-time warrior. Oneself. Don't forget what Titor said.
ラボ面ナンバー001であり、ラボの設立者であるこの俺、法王院京馬が最も優先するのは、ラボ面を危険から守ること。だからお前は感謝する必要はない。
世界に混沌をもたらすとか言ってるくせに。
ラボ面は俺の味方であり、世界は俺の敵である。
呆れて言葉も出ない。あんたって独善的すぎ。
言葉なら出ているではないか。
上げ足取るな。
It's quite mysterious, really. It's only been 2 weeks since Kurisu and I met, and yet it already feels natural for us to be walking together, exchanging banter like this. Perhaps pooling our efforts to create something new, dangerous though it may be, has brought us closer together. I admit that her knowledge and skills are impressive. I'd like her to remain at the lab if at all possible, but she said she goes back to America this month. It's already the 13th, so I wonder when she plans to return. I decide to ask her.
そういえば飛行機のチケット取るの忘れてた。電話レンジの改良に夢中になりすぎてたわ。
タイムリープマシンを公表すれば世間は大騒ぎになる。セルン告発もしなければならない。帰ることはできなくなるぞ。
あ、そうか。となるとママに電話しておかないと。
Looks like things are going to get busy. Naturally, I want Kurisu to stay with us to the end. A little bit after we return to the lab, Mayuri gets back.
トゥットゥルー、ただいま
Seems Mayuri went to Lukako's. Suzuha shows up a few minutes later, and our development council comes to order. What Okurin calls a party. Daru orders 3 pizzas. We also line up all the snacks we bought on the table. It's just like the party we had a few days ago to cheer up Suzuha. Mayuri wanted to decorate the room, but since everyone's tired, I dismissed it as unnecessary. Looks like Suzuha managed to retrieve her jacket from Mr. Braun.
いや、やばかった。あのままだとさ、露出狂として一日を過ごす羽目になるとこだったよ、私。
The Braun Tube workshops closed. Suzuha made sure the 42-inch CRT was turned off, so there's no need to fear any malfunction from the time leap machine. A heavy sigh escapes my throat. I realize I've been tense and nervous since the time leap machine was completed. Now I can finally relax. The topic of the time leap machine has become taboo. Even Kurisu doesn't bring it up during the meeting.
ダル、お前なぜこの前と全く同じ種類のピザを注文したのだ？
I opened the pizza boxes to find the exact same ones he got for Suzuha's party.
ズバリ、僕の好み。
Naturally, I'm not amused.
おかり、おかり。フェリスちゃんやルカちゃんにもね、声をかけたんだけど、今日は無理って言われちゃった。
そうか。何か用事でもあったのか？
フェリスちゃんは今日はライネットの大会。
しまった、応援行きそびれた。なんという不覚。
あとね、ルカちゃんはなんだか恥ずかしそうにしてたよ。
ここに来たらまたマユリのコスを着させられるって思ったんじゃない？
コスプレの件か？ もしかしてまだ説得できていないのか？
Then what was the point of completing the costume?
恥ずかしいんだって。可愛いは正義なのに。
可愛いは正義ってそんな言葉が流行ってるんだ。
クリスちゃんもね、可愛いよね。
Karisu doesn't know how to react. She blushes and Mayuri starts teasing her like a drunk old man. There's no alcohol at this party, of course.
ねえねえ、今度のコミマ
Yes,
に
I
出て
do.
みない？新作は無理だけどね、去年作ったブラチューのセーラ覚醒後バージョンコスがあるんだ。多分ね、サイズはクリスちゃんにちょうど合うと思うし。
私がコスプレか。
Karisu looks conflicted, then she murmurs.
ちょっと興味ある。
She sure could have fooled us before, pretending to have no interest in otaku culture.
でも私も人前に出るのはお断りだから。
着るだけでいいよ。でもね、そのうちみんなに見てもらいたくなるよ。コスプレにはそうさせる魔物さんが住んでるんだ。
I like the irony of Karisu herself, the character. I've seen enough cosplays of it. Definitely not as popular as it was, I'm sure, when this came out in like 2009 or whatever. But I've seen them around in conventions I've been to. Then the cosplay demon?
そういえばクリスちゃんっていつも可愛い制服着てるよね。でもこんな制服都内にあったっけ？
これ
Karisu lifts up her necktie.
2週間だけあやめ院に逆留学みたいなことしてたんだけど、そこの制服を改造してきてるの。
Alright, Ayamin. Fictional Ayamin's Women's Academy, a private school for girls in the Kodenshita neighborhood of Tokyo, an academic powerhouse. Ayamin is a popular destination for for foreign exchange students.
ああ、あやめ院なんだ。あそこの制服もともと可愛いもんね。でもクリスちゃんの改造センスはね、すごくいいかも。明日コス持ってくるね。そしたら試着してくれる？
いいわ。
Looks like Karisu approves of the cuteness is justice philosophy.
撮影会は何時からですか？
相変わらず橋田は変態道を邁進中だな。
だってブラチューのセーラっしょ。あれって確かパンモロだぞ。
パンモロ？
パンツがモロに見えているの略。
Oh, but well, now she's gonna go back on that.
嘘。
大丈夫だよ。クリスちゃんは知らないかもだけどね、去年ぐらいにこんな言葉が流行ったんだよ。パンツじゃないから恥ずかしくないもんって。
いやいや、恥ずかしいでしょ。
絶対来てね。絶対だよ。やめといた方がいいんじゃないかな。
Oh shit, here we go. Here we go. Suzuha speaks, her tone sharp. She's scowling at Karisu again. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the room changes. Oh shit.
マキセクリスを信じると痛い目に遭うよ。
それどういう意味？
Naturally, my strong-willed assistant isn't one to back down from a fight. Sparks fly between the two girls.
この前から思ってたんだけど、私あなたに何かした？
直接は何も。でも私、君のしたこと全部知ってんだよね。
何よ、私がしたことって。後ろめたいことは何もしてない。
でしょうね。でも私知ってるんだから。
へえ、すごい。私の心の中を覗いたんだ。画期的な発明だから、ぜひその独身装置を見せてもらいたいもんだわ。
装置なんてないよ。強いて言うなら予言。
つまり言いがかりってことか。
事実だってば。
Uh-oh, we've got a situation here.
おか
Mayuri clings to me with teary eyes.
二人を止めて。
この場を丸く収められるのもこの法王院京馬しかいないようだな。
I insert myself between the two girls.
二人ともここは引け。この勝負法王院京馬が預かる。
They both glare at me. Although I'm afraid for my life, I harden my resolve. The mission must succeed. First, I focus on Kurisu.
助手よ、俺はお前をそのように育てた覚えはないぞ。
育てられた覚えもない。
マッドサイエンティストを目指す上で最も必要なことを教えてやろう。すなわち表面は熱く奥底では冷たく。
聞いてない。なるつもりもない。
Next, I switch focus to Suzuha.
戦士よ、お前がラグナロックにおいて戦うべきは
Isn't she gonna be like, but she is from CERN?
岡部倫太郎には忠告したよね。マキセ・クリスには気をつけてって。
You're going to mention that here? Now?
へえ。どういうことよ、岡部。
Their eyes are like laser beams boring into my skull. I want nothing more than to flee for my life. When Mayuri's watching me so anxiously, I need to defuse the situation.
お前たちどちらも引くつもりはないようだな。ならば好きなだけやり合うがいい。戦って戦って戦い抜いて、その後河原で握手して友情を芽生えさせるがいい。だがな、将来社会に出る時のためにこれだけは自覚しておけ。お前たちは二人とも空気が読めない。
うるさい。
Getting yelled at by both of them at the same time sends shivers down my spine. It's coming. I quickly seize my right arm.
よりによってこんな時に静まれ、俺の右手。
I turn around and head back to Mayuri.
まゆり、すまない。このままだと俺は二人を傷つけてしまう。だからあとは任せた。
This is basically just his excuse being like, it's like when you're like, oh, I got a sore stomach, I gotta go. You take care of it. Mayuri puffs her cheeks out and goes over to the two girls.
二人とも聞いて。マユシーはね、喧嘩は嫌いなのです。仲良くしようよ。
Hearing this, the two combatants reluctantly comply. I expected this would happen. Mayuri's the oil that keeps the gear of this lab churning along. The throbbing in my right arm dissipates. Daru comes over to chat with Suzuha, and gradually peace returns to the lab. Kurisu is in the development room making a call, probably to her mother in America. I sit on the sofa and watch TV while sipping Dr. P. TV is running a game show where contestants guess the prices of popular items at high-class restaurants. Mayuri sits down next to me. She peels a banana and begins eating it.
ねえねえ、オカリン。
Mayuri slowly looks around the lab, smiling all the while.
なんだかね、ここ何週間かですごく賑やかになったね。
ああ、確かに。
I established the Future Gadget Laboratory around the time I entered college. It was the first step in my plan to bring chaos to the world. That was around the middle of March this year, which means it's been almost 5 months. Not half a month after it was established, Mayuri showed up. I'm still not sure why, and became a lab mem. For about a month, it was just me and Mayuri. Then in early May, I finally got Daru to join. All it took was telling him the lab is just a 3-minute walk from May Queen. Its location on the outskirts of Akiba has always been quiet. Mayuri isn't the type to object to every little thing like Kurisu, nor the type to make dumb jokes like Daru, so the lab was very peaceful back in those days. It was quite a pleasant place to be, and now the lab mem count has increased to 8, It happened in the blink of an eye, or so it seems. They didn't come today, but Lukako visits occasionally, and Ferris is a familiar face at May Queen. Or at least, she was before May Queen disappeared. I remembered feeling out of place the first time I came to Akiba, but now it's like a second home.
楽しいね。
Mayuri too seems pleased by the increase in lab mems.
あのね、ラボ面が8人に増えたでしょ。ちょっと狭くなってきたなってマユシーは思うんだ。まずね、椅子が足りないのです。
The sofa only has room for 2. Then there's Daru's personal desk chair. Those are the only chairs in the lounge. There are some pipe chairs in the development room, but they need to stay there.
買ってこなくちゃだよ。おかりんはお金ある？
椅子を買うと貯金が底をつく。
That's what I'm saying. Just use the time leap machine to just go and win the lottery. Like, just get your memory, memorize the lottery tickets from like a week ago. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just something. Then I need to get a part-time job again.
じゃあ、マユシーのバイト代もちょっと出していいよ。あとはね、電子レンジ。新しいの買わないとジューシー唐揚げナンバーワンが温められないよ。
ああ、それはすまん。
Cutting off Mayuri's chicken supply might actually kill her.
だがマユリ、タイムリープマシンを譲渡して謝礼をもらえば問題は全て解決する。
椅子と電子レンジの代金とちょっぴり上がっちゃったお家賃を払えるぐらいはもらえるかな。
もらえるさ。もっともらえる。
そうなんだ。よかったね、おかり。
なぜそんなに嬉しそうなんだ？
だってお友達たくさんできたもん。ダルくんでしょ、クリスちゃんでしょ、ルカちゃんでしょ、すずさん、モエカさん、フェリスちゃん、店長さん、ナエちゃん、他にも他にも。
She gazes wistfully into the distance.
春の頃はオカリンはとっても寂しそうだったけど、もう大丈夫だね。マユシーが人質じゃなくても。
それはどういう？
Uh-oh. What do you mean? I try to ask, but before I can finish. Oh, an urgent news bulletin appears on the TV. Terrorist bomb threat suspends Yamanote Sobu Keiin Toku lines. The subtitle reads, okay, literally the thing I just said.
爆破テロ予告？
つうか全部秋葉原駅通ってるじゃん。マユシ帰れないんじゃね？
本当だ。家に電話しなくちゃ。
A bomb threat. I don't know why, but I've got a bad feeling about this. Only the lines passing through Akihabara suspended, as if that were the target. Wait, could that be it? Could the bomb be at Akihabara Station? I get a cold feeling in my stomach. It's like they want to keep everybody here from
岡部
leaving.
倫太郎、一つ聞かせて。
Of course, when we're all here, this happens, right?
タイムリープマシンは完成してるんだよね。
は？
そっか。私、用事思い出したから、ちょっと出かけてくる。
Oh my gosh, what is with you, Suzuha? Are you on our side or not? Suzuha leaves the lab without another word.
何なの彼女。
Suzuha's acting strange. Is it related to the bomb threat? Why did she just ask about the time leap machine? Something occurs to me. The 2 threatening emails I received. We're watching you. You know too much. Who sent them? And there's more. Words and images flash through my head. CERN. The LHC. Jellymen. The Z program. Government secrets. The organization. Men in Black. The Committee of 300. The Time Leap Machine. What did Kurisu say?
私たちひょっとするととんでもないものを作っちゃったかもしれない。
Taken separately, each of these elements was insignificant. But if I consider them part of a single line, they all point to one inescapable truth. We've come too far. Fear seizes my heart in an icy grip. I can feel anxiety eating at my brain. I can't breathe. Even though it's hot and humid, my body shivers. Should we run? Get out while we still can? We can't use the trains. What about the subway? Or would a taxi be better? Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's doing anything. What should we do? Suddenly, there's a softness against my hand. I look down and see Mayuri's hand holding mine. When I look up, I see worry written on her face. It's okay. I'm just being paranoid. It's all a coincidence. Tomorrow we'll get rid of the time leap machine. Then we can forget all this ever happened. Pretend it was just a dream. We never invented a time machine. I don't need money. As long as we can forget about today and welcome tomorrow. We'll be okay, won't we? But my anxiety doesn't go away. I look over Mayuri's head at the entrance to the lab. The door is unlocked. Anyone could just waltz right in. I hear sirens wailing a few streets away. The bomb threat has Akiba in an uproar. Yet here in our corner of Akiba, it's so quiet. Mayuri squeezes my hand with her warm, slender fingers. I squeeze back. Oh shit! Oh shit! The next thing I know, the door slams open. 5 men burst into the lab. Damn! Their movements are swift and sure, professional, and each of them is carrying a gun. They spread out just inside the door and aim their weapons at us. It all happens so fast, no one has time to scream. The men are foreigners, a mix of races dressed casually in colorful shirts and shorts or jeans. But their arms are thick with muscle and their eyes are hard and cold as ice. 2 of them are holding pistols. The other 3 have assault rifles. AK-47s in Akiba? Is this some kind of joke? One thing is certain, these guys aren't tourists.
動くな。全員両手を上げろ。
The dark-skinned crew-cut man barks an order. It feels like I'm dreaming. Did I fall asleep watching an action movie? This is the first time so many people have gathered in this room. Suddenly, the lab feels small. What an odd thing to be thinking at a time like this. The first to obey is Daru. Then Kurisu raises her hands. Then me. Last is Mayuri. Silence. Time seems to grind to a halt. The men say nothing, but their guns remain steady, muzzles pointed at us. On the TV, a comedian laughs. What is this? Are we on candid camera? Then I hear a new sound coming from outside. The sound of high heels. A woman is coming up the stairs. Is it? Oh my god, I forgot her name. Moeka. Is it Moeka? Are these men waiting for her? Is she their leader? I mean, my first think is Suzuha, but she doesn't really wear high heels. A squad of battle-hardened commandos led by a beautiful woman. It's like something out of a manga. Nothing seems real. Before long, the woman appears. It is Moeka!
Kiryu Moeka.
The part-time editor. The male demon, Shining Finger, who is never seen without her phone. Labmem 05. Moeka? She's their leader? The least imposing woman I've ever met? Even now she doesn't meet my stare. Her eyes are aimed down at the floor. What's going on here? Alright guys, so that will do it for this episode. I ended up playing a little bit after where I stopped this episode just because I was into it, and I wanted to leave it here because it was left on a little bit of a cliffhanger. But wow, I am still reeling from what happens after this, and yeah, you guys are going to want to stay tuned because it went somewhere I was not expecting it to go. Oh boy, okay, so yeah, we will wrap it up here, and yeah, you're going to want to stay tuned for the next episode because stuff goes from 0 to 100 real freaking quick. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Special shout out to my top tier patrons: Namara Kito, Sparky, iCognito, Simon Rax, Mad Goldsmith, Harry Gazif, and Asborn Kennedy.